Hello, my Rosalynds and Rosikins. The mother is back, and I want to touch on the fact for our Privileged Plights series, harassment, okay, and stalkers. This is another privileged plight that we have to endure as beautiful brown dark skin exoticals. And as beautiful women in general, a lot of times, depending on your location, how vulnerable you are, men are bold enough to stalk you. They are bold enough to follow you while you're walking or drive behind you and follow you while you're driving, right? Or to get access to your phone number from others anonymously and hit you up. So, I want to touch on the fact of when I lived alone. So, at one point, I was an educator and I lived by myself, right? And I taught at a predominantly black school, which I actually adored because I love black children. They're amazing. And so, as you guys know from my other videos, if you listen to my Mother I Am a Rich Man series, that I do not have a car. I still don't, not yet. And I'm gonna get one eventually, but I'm not rushing. I see gas prices, I see car insurance. Honey, that shit could be going straight to my Roth IRAs and Roth TSPs. Get your life. Um, And not only that, I told you, as a pretty girl, we have our ways. Anyway, so I didn't have a car at the time, and I would walk everywhere, which was actually a blessing because my job was literally down the street from where I lived. And Walmart was across the street, fucking library right across the street, the hospital across the street, Dollar Tree. I love Dollar Tree across the street. Nail salon across the street. Like, I'm telling you, everything is like accessible. It's just a walk, right? So I was actually very comfortable. I was okay with it, right? I realized that y'all protected me while I was out there, so I thank y'all for that. I thank my ancestors. I think just everyone, right, for protecting me while I was in that predicament for that time, pursuing the career of my dreams until I became, a military baddie. But yeah, so there were nights when I would go to the gym. Actually, it was like evenings. So let's say evenings. So evenings, I would go to the gym because you get off work you around like 3:30. So by 4 you're back home, right? 4/5. And then you go to the gym because I would go to the gym after work. And I work out. On my way there, people are honking. People wanted to talk to me, stop me, tell me how pretty I am. And this is like almost every day. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm so fucking serious, bro. I'm so serious. I can't. So I'm minding my business and walking back from the gym. And then there are other situations where I end up going to Walmart later because I'm craving Subway. Yes, at the time I had really bad cravings and I was really fucking unhealthy. I swear. I was, oh God, it was giving big back. I'm so glad that I have reformed my ways and are still reforming my ways because that's not cute at all. That's giving diabetes. It's giving heart attack. It's giving, oh, okay. But it's crazy. I was still getting pretty privileged. And even on my weight loss journey at the time, too, I was still getting pretty privileged. So, pretty privileged. Okay, every time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I be really mixing up my words. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Husbands, Can forgive mother. Okay, the point is that one night though, I was walking back, and this has happened multiple times. It's not just once. I'm gonna be honest. But I'm using this specific one because this one was really I still remember this one to this day. I was walking to my house with my groceries from Walmart from across the street. And by house, I mean apartment. And it's dark. And I'm walking, and this man stops me. This unambiguous black man stops me, right? And he's all like, "You shouldn't be out here alone by yourself. Someone could like hurt you or something." And I was like, "Yes, I'm aware. Thank you for that. I'm just, going home. Thank you though." And I tried to like leave him there where I found him on the side of the road, right? Basically. And I keep walking, right? Or the side of the sidewalk, whatever. I keep walking because I wanted to get inside. It's literally across the street. And I know some of you might say, don't go straight home, which is true. So I just stayed outside of my apartment. It's still not safe. I know. What can I do? What can I do? Drive away? You mean walk away? Let me not play with myself like this. So yeah. And then he's like, you're really pretty. And then he's an older black man. I think he was in like his 40s. Because I, at the time, was like 21, 22. Yeah. And he's trying to talk to me. And he's telling me how he has like 1,000 baby mamas, and that he also believes like in God too, and all this stuff, like basically trying to audition to be my man or a potential. Right there. It's dark. I want to go home outside on the sidewalk. Right. Okay, you're tracking. And so I'm just like, yeah, I totally feel that way. Like just trying to, as you know, oh God, as brown sisters, dark skins, alcohols, you guys know this. You try to soothe men's egos because you don't want them to fuck you up. It's like one of those situations. So I'm like being nice, I'm being timid. I'm like, trying to, yeah, because I don't know if this man's crazy, I don't know nothing. And then he finally lets me go when I finally when I accept his number, and I tell him good night. Yeah, I'll think about getting in touch with you later. Yeah, you know, yeah, one of those things. Or the fact that this is the disadvantage of being a pretty woman without a car. I'm gonna be honest. Shit, I should make probably this video of this, but even you guys with cars go through this. But for me, like men, they always like some men will literally like pull up. And I told you I always get stopped, right? They will pull up like in the location of which I'm living to try to talk to me, right? Or they'll be like, hey, like one situation, I was walking down the street, there was hella traffic, and this man was trying to talk to me, and I declined. And people were blowing at him from behind him because he wasn't continuing to drive. He just kept staying in his car, talking to me, trying to convince me to let him have my number to take his. And I didn't, like, what? And then he told me I didn't want you anyway, or something like that. He dissed me because I didn't want to be with him. Like, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Like, fuck no. It's not how this goes. Or like the few chances I did take where I would accept someone's ride, one, my intuition was spot on because nothing happened to me, thank God. But I would also think, shit, what if I'm in the car with Jeffrey Dahmer? Although Jeffrey Dahmer didn't want me, he wanted a black man, respectfully and disrespectfully. That man was sick. Anyway, but the point is, you get the analogy here. Like, what if I was like in the car with fucking Ted Bundy for all I knew, right? So it's just things like that, and I realized that I did put myself in certain situations, and then sometimes I didn't. It's like half and half for me. Um, Literally just existing is what gives opportunity for you to be harassed and stalked as a pretty woman. Let's go there. Okay. I don't believe in victim shaming. I believe that there are certain things that can be prevented and certain things that cannot. The fact that a man is following you home cannot be prevented, because if he's in his car, he'd be following too. Let's keep it a buck here, okay? Okay. So yeah, no. But the fact that sometimes I would try to, how do you say, diminish the situation by trying to seem like I was being submissive in that part in order to get them out of my face. I think that can egg the wrong type of man on if you're not careful as a pretty woman. So please be careful, Rosalynn, when you are using that tactic to not get harmed when you are fake accepting a man, right? Because they might feel attached to you because they feel like, oh, she's game now. She's game, right? So again, like there's no easy way to maneuver as a beautiful woman out of a situation where men are lusting for you hard, and they know that they could take it if they want it because you're weaker than them. And you know what I told you too, like especially if you're skinny and pretty, baby, you might be strong for yourself, like physically, but a grown ass man you cannot handle, right? You cannot handle. At least when a woman is a beluga whale, she has some sort of strength. But when you are fit, feminine, and pretty, like you're not about to square up with no gigantic bear of a man. It's just not giving what it's supposed to give, right? So even on your strongest day, you're no match for him physically. So you are scared, and you have every reason to be. It's literally your nature telling you he's a threat, because he is, right? And he'll be even more threatening if you don't accept his advances. So a lot of times too, when you're being stalked or harassed, they try to coerce you into it. So like for me, with my ex-boyfriend, I talked about it. The fact that I told him I didn't want to be with him, and then he still declares that we're together, we're just taking a break. What the fuck? No, we're not. We're not together. We're not taking a break. We are done. Like, it's just things like that. And then they keep pestering you to say yes again. And then they feel like it gives them reign to be in your life. And then you feel harassed and stalked because now this harasser and stalker has been given permission by you out of fear and intimidation to allow this type of behavior. You get what I'm saying? So it's just a lot that goes into this topic. Oh my God. And it's so dangerous because sometimes people will get involved to help you as a pretty woman and sometimes they won't because it depends on how threatening that man is. Like if he's just like a man on the street that's harassing you, it's like a 50-50. Some people might be brave enough to square it with him, to tell him to back the fuck up. And then some will just be scared that he might be a crazy ass man with a weapon, so they'll allow him to continue to neg you and harass you and stalk you. And then you have situations where some people won't intervene that know that that person is dangerous, but because they know him as at one time being your romantic partner at all, they'll see him as less of a threat because they have knowledge of him and his existence with you in a romantic way or in a relationship way at some point, even if he's turning into a very dangerous person in your life, despite your past relationship with him, right? So like an ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, whatever situation might be a best guy friend, a guy you've known since you were a child, etc. No one takes them serious as threats because they're not strangers to you. So again, like I'm really getting deep into this, aren't I? I'm so serious. It's just like the mindset that a lot of men have with us brown cis dark skinned radicals, that they're gonna have us no matter what, by any means necessary. I remember my ex-boyfriend telling me this, and I forgot to mention this on the other video I did about possessive boyfriends, right? He told me you're gonna mess around and get some man killed one day. And you know what that's implying? What that's implying is that he's going to be so jealous of other men being around me or wanting me that he's going to do something to someone that tries to, take a chance with hollering at me, basically. And by doing something, it means killing them, right? So it's just like moments like that that scare you, and especially when you break up with an individual that has that mindset, the only option is the restraining order. I don't care what anyone says. I took one out, and I would encourage you, Rosalynds, to always make sure that you are armed in some form, way, or fashion, legally with a restraining order, physically with some form of a weapon, and let people know like where you're going. And if you have a daily routine that they're like able to know about, your stalkers and harassers, you need to switch it up, right? And try to avoid certain neighborhoods, certain demographics. I will say for me personally, I feel like one of the most dangerous places for brown cis dark skinned alcohol is within a certain low impoverished environment within the Black community. And people can feel how they want to feel about that, but no, impoverished Black communities do not smile kindly on beautiful women in general, especially brown slash dark skin exoticals. It's very dangerous for you and for us and for me. And I realized that, yes, there are great Black people, there are great unambiguous Black women and men in those communities that just are having a hard time, just like you are, because you're there too, because you're struggling financially. And that's okay, right? But when it comes down to being in those type of environments, you're going to have to downplay your beauty. I'm just going to be honest because that's what I had to do. And I realized, though, I took that time to also glow up at the same time. And the more that I grew up, the more that it became dangerous for me because, the more prettier you get, the more people start to take notice. The more weight you lose, the more people start to take notice. The more that you create a routine, the more people start to take notice. So you just really got to be careful with that. Um, And when I say downplay your beauty, I don't mean like let yourself go. What I mean is that you cannot be a pretty princess every day, right? You have to think logically and consciously about what you're wearing. Like me, I would try to keep it basic, whatever I wore. The only time I would dress up was on dates, right? And I want to be able to live in an environment where I could dress up even when I'm not on a date. Like wear your little cute halter top and your skirt and your heels and go to the bank or something. But you can't do that in certain communities because then you're going to get kidnapped. Oh God, right? Like, oh, even at a young age. Oh my God. Oh, I hated it so much. Oh my God. No, I didn't get kidnapped, but I swear to God, I literally had moments where I feel like I was about to be. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. It's just very dangerous. Like when you start to come into your beauty as a brown / dark skin exotical, it's very dangerous for you in certain environments and around certain people. So I say all this to say, please be careful because people are watching you because you're a pretty girl. Okay. If you're walking, listening to this, if you're driving, listening to this, be aware of your surroundings. People are literally plotting on you to get you vulnerable, to have their way with you, to make you theirs by any means necessary. So please be careful, Rosalind. There are men and women that want you or want to be you, and they will stop at nothing to get either results. Okay? Okay. And this is the situation, the reality of the matter. As a brown / dark skin exotical, you are a target, honey. You're the best of both worlds and you're gorgeous. And you, my dear, are definitely what they want. And so that being said, please be mindful. I'm telling you, please be mindful of your beauty. Please. Do not underestimate women. They're acting weird. They could try to kidnap you. They could try to kidnap you on behalf of a man, or they can try to harm you and throw acid in your face, beat you up, jump you, anything, right? And people could also gang up on you to take advantage of you. I know that this is a very scary video, but it's the reality of the plights of actually the privileged plights and dangerous plights at this point of a brown / dark skin exotical woman, right? And for my exotical sisters who are listening in that benefit from light skin privilege as well, this also is for you. Please be careful, okay? And I have no ill will towards unambiguous black women as a whole. So you pretty ones, the ones that embrace your beauty, know you that bitch, please be careful. All pretty girls listening, please be careful. Mother's being really, really honest here and very serious because people will stop at nothing, and I mean nothing, to get their hands on a pretty woman. So you do what with this information as you will, but you have got to be careful. Okay? Mother loves you. I do not want to see you on the first 48. I do not want to see you on the news, baby. I want you to be safe and pretty and protected. Okay? Because people are crazy as fuck out here. They don't know how to keep their hands to themselves. They don't know how to not be invested in your life as a pretty girl. They will stop at nothing to infiltrate it and to take over. And by take over, I mean take you in every way, shape, and form. Yeah. So please, please, please be careful. I love you ladies so much. I love my Rosalind so much. Okay. And with that, Mother is going to say, ciao.